Hey guys, I know I have not been making a lot of videos lately, but as they say, life gets in the way. Lately I have a little bit more time on my hands, so I expect to see a lot more videos, especially pertaining to next generation. As it stands, I'm only getting the PlayStation 4. I do have, of course, the Wii U, but I've already beat this game, and I am looking forward to the Wonderful 101. I played the demo, and I'm actually very impressed with it. It seems like a very fun game, so we'll see how that goes. Now, what you see in front of you, of course, is the slim Xbox 360. This is the 320 gig version, and this is, of course, the original PlayStation 3 with all the features and bells and whistles. Still works because, of course, I fixed it myself. For those of you, on a little side note, that have been asking me constantly about how to fix the PlayStation 3, the best method that I can say that the average person could do, and it seems like it's been working very well for Kevin. His system died about 2 years ago. We made a video in October 2011, and I fixed his system October 2012. It is now August 2013. His system still works. Bake it in the oven. I'm serious. I'm dead serious. Bake it in the oven. Make sure you remove the batteries, thermal pads, thermal paste. Just make sure everything's off it. You're just putting only the motherboard in with the processors facing up. You do this, I believe you bake it for about 15 minutes. Then you let it cool, put the whole system back together, and it works. I'm not kidding. I did this for Kevin. His system still works to this day, and he has the original 60 gig model. So, console war. The console war is heating up, but it's heating up in a way that kind of sucks for Microsoft. But you know what? They shot themselves in the foot since day one. And what's funny is the Xbox One Day One edition. It's just like you're a Day One douchebag if you buy the system. And I have to make this very clear. Microsoft has done nothing but backtrack every fucking thing they've ever announced for their system. And the only reason why they're doing this is because they realize that the consumer base is pissed off. The consumer base is like, well, I'm not supporting your rules. I'm not supporting your policies. Your crazy ass idea of being online all the time. I'm not going to support that. I'm not going to support the whole anti-use game. I'm not going to support the whole, hey, we need to keep this fucking Kinect thing going, because Big Brother here has been watching me play games for the past few months. This came with the system. Bought this on eBay. Whatever. I probably used the Kinect once or twice and realized it's a piece of shit. Obviously, 2/3 of Xbox 360 owners realize it's a piece of shit, but Microsoft can't get that through their thick fucking skulls, because even as it stands today, the Kinect is no longer required to operate the Xbox One. But yet, they're still going to make you buy it by including it in the box. So while I'll be enjoying a PlayStation 4 that's $100 cheaper, Xbox One fans will be paying for an accessory that they don't really care about and they're not going to use. Don't get me wrong, that the new Kinect looks beautiful. It looks a lot nicer than this three-eyed monster, but I just, I don't see why Microsoft is doing what they're doing. I think they're completely misguided. They have no idea what their fan base wants. Obviously they're learning step by step because they are taking away things that people hated. But still, as a consumer, you need to sit down, think for a second before you click that pre-order button. Microsoft has done nothing but backtrack, right? Why are they backtracking? To get your money. So you would be a very foolish consumer to purchase their console knowing that they tried to fuck you over, they tried to fuck you over, and they tried to fuck you over. Yes, they're removing said things that were trying to fuck you over, but they could just fuck you over again. Knowing that this was on their mind, that this is plans that they've had, and the fact that they backtracked, there's nothing stopping them from selling you the console with said features removed and then just re-enabling them later on. Now, a lot of the things they're doing is extremely shady. For example, Blackbuster Critic has been making a lot of videos lately regarding Forza 5 and the fact that at one time they announced the game was completely unplayable unless you downloaded a day one patch. I talked about this in my podcast about maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. And we said that it would actually take down Xbox Live because if everyone was buying this game and they had to download updates and patches for this game to actually work, their network would be crippled. So it now comes out that, well, you know what, we'll actually give you a percentage of the game that's playable, but you need to download an update to complete the game. So if you're Joe Schmo that has an Xbox One and you don't have the internet, you're fucked. You're buying a game that you can only play up to whatever, you know, let's say it's 75%. I'll give them that. You get 3/4 of the game already on the disc, but that last set of races you won't be able to do without downloading an update. Yes, the update's free, but at the end of the day, you know, you're paying $60 for an incomplete game. And this is something that Blackbond has mentioned numerous times. You know, Blackbuster Critic, you're more than welcome to join us on our podcast, you know, making that shout out. If anyone that's a fan of mine, that's also a fan of his, please, you know, nag them. But, you know, back to this. I don't understand why a consumer would be foolish to purchase the Xbox One. And some of the comments I've read on other videos, it just proves one thing. People are stupid, people are foolish, and you're only hurting yourself. Now, granted, if the Xbox One is a success with the way they're running it, it's only going to have a trickle-down effect. And what I mean by that is the whole online pass issue, where it took EA to start it, and then everybody and their cousin decided, hey, let's put our own passes. Right now, Sony is the only one I think that still is doing it with their games, but EA's backtracked because they realized it was foolish. You know, consumers weren't buying it. Yes, a lot were because they're stupid, but I wasn't. I don't think I've ever bought a single EA game with an online pass. I just don't buy into that shit. So, I don't know what you guys think, but, you know, I have to say the next generation is looking pretty hot because one is just fucking up left and right, and the other is just staying quiet, which obviously, you know, no news is good news. So, we will learn this week on, I believe it's August 20th. I believe is the date. We have Gamescom, and Sony is to be announcing the release date as well as other extra information on the PlayStation 4. So expect a follow-up video to this one where I will discuss what was announced, you know, what do I think, what are my thoughts, and yeah, that's it. Take care, guys. Look out for future content.